My friends, it is job hunt time. Of course, if you have been enjoying the series up to this point, smash the like button. That would be fantastic. Helps me out and all that jazz. And in other news, M finally convinced me to make a TikTok. So that is a thing that I now have as a human being. There is a link in the description to that as well if you do fancy following over there as well. This isn't one of these things I'm just going to forget. When I take on these projects, I tend to actually go for them. So expect to see a decent amount of content over there from me as well. Weird stuff, but also I might actually make some exclusive content for there as well, potentially, should the right moment strike. So yeah, go follow there too. So Call's contract has expired at KV, and he's taken the decision to leave. I decided to let the contract run right down to the end, which is why we're at November 1st right now, because I didn't want to resign when our contract still had some time on it, just in case it caused any kind of problems for us, whereas I knew that if I let it expire, you can resign then without any issues. And we have had no issues. But one thing we do have on our side this time around is 25% reputation, which is a definite boon over what it was before. I think when we got the KV job, it was either 10 or 15. It might have even been 10, which suggests to me that we should definitely be able to get ourselves a better job this time around and really start making some inroads, because it'd be nice to actually win something. It's 4 years into this save and we've won nothing, and I kind of like that for the journey purposes, but goddamn, I like winning stuff too. We did win Manager of the Year last year in the Icelandic 2nd Division. Doesn't give you a boon, but it does give you a lovely little gold medal on your profile, and hey, what's not to like about that, right? But I think we're actually on the right track with things, to be fair. We've got a 46% win percentage, which is reasonably high, but today it's all about finding that next job. In addition, with it being November 1st, it stands to reason that we're going to struggle to find jobs initially. Time will come though. I think Denmark might be the only league that's actually running at the moment, so it might take us a little while, but we're here for the long haul. I've got my coffee. Grab one yourselves. Probably don't do that actually. It's probably quite late. You want to be able to sleep. Sleep's important, right? Run a warm bath. Something like that. I don't know. What am I, a sleep scientist? And let's get cracking. See what's available. I haven't looked at any of the jobs that are available right now. This is going to be just as surprising for me. Job center. Let's do it. Oh, that's a lot of jobs. Oh, wait, hang on. No, this is not actually that many jobs, is it? There we go. Okay, it's still some jobs. We'll get rid of the international jobs and the reserve team jobs. But there does appear to be some jobs actually available in a multitude of countries. In fact, I believe one job at least for every single nation that we could potentially manage in. What are the odds of that, eh? So you can see Vålerenga, as if they'd give us a job anyway. 5 Elite Syrian titles. Not going to happen. Arendal, though, that would be interesting. Then you've also got SJK in the Veikkausliga, who have won a league title, damn it. So that's Finland off the chopping block for this particular one. A couple of top flight Swedish jobs here as well with Varbergs. Nothing there, that's good. But needless to say, I'm going to hit apply all anyway and see what happens, because it'll give us a really good clue as to where we're sort of sat from a reputation standpoint, what sort of jobs we actually could get. And obviously, we're going to take our time over this. This feels like the one that really will take us some time, but that's fine. We're going to do this. Right, we're going to apply all, and I think some of them will turn us down straight away. In fact, you can see that obviously KV aren't interested, and it appears that Nestved are already about to appoint a guy, which is why it hasn't let us apply, I suspect. Let's go, though. So Arendal already said no. Are a top flight side in Iceland. It's nice that they're offering us the job, but I am probably just going to turn this one down to save us some time, because, you know, that's good to know that they'd offer us the interview, but are they actually in the top flight, or have they been relegated again? Yeah, no, they'd be back, both of them back down again. Cheers, lads. Some of them don't appear to be showing up, but the BK Häcken job is available. I think it's unlikely we'd get that, but they haven't ever won a top flight title. So that's something, right? Oh, a few more jobs going begging. Degerfors, 2nd tier in Sweden. Okay. One of my favorite parts about job hunt videos is that we don't really know where we sit as far as reputation goes as to what jobs we can get. And it's always great because it's endless possibilities, isn't it? Okay, a couple more jobs. Holbeck and Mjøndalen. Okay, so Trotto Reykjavik of... Yeah, so that's a bit of a no-go to start with, really, because that doesn't really tell us anything. One, we don't want to stay in here. Plus, they finished lower than we did last season, so that would be a step down. But they have more icons than my desktop does. Christ. Aha. And job interview with a team that isn't from Iceland. Semi-pro team, Sweden, higher division than we were previously managing in. Oh, just about a higher division, very barely, by the 7 points escape there. So it wouldn't be an enormous step up over where we were originally with Uxalt. Lack of experience managing in this country. Daniel? I know we've been laying low, but we literally did 2 years managing the division directly below you, sir. Proposed wage budget of... That wage budget there of £1,800 is half that which I was being offered by KV, who are a B team in the 2nd tier of Iceland. Aha, it's happening. Holbeck. This is, hang on, what division is this? Is this 3rd tier Denmark? The board have slight reservations about your suitability to deliver on the club's ambitions for the future. This is mainly as a result of your strong reluctance towards making set pieces an important part of your approach. We scored 12 goals from set pieces. Sorry, just from corners alone in 22 league games the season after last. Is this one of these weird things where it doesn't matter how many goals that you actually score from set pieces, unless you're playing the words play for set pieces in your tactic, it doesn't matter? Why has your managerial career thus far lacked variety? We've managed in 2 different countries. You would be the 3rd. Sorry that I haven't managed a circus yet. Top half. Okay, it's nothing about money here yet. It concerns me when they don't give you any indication of how much money you're working with. I suppose they'd have to upon offering us a contract, wouldn't they? Oh, well, there we go. They've both approached us immediately, but we also have this potential job on the card. The cards? The cards. Fremad Amaja. Apologies for the name butchering. We'll pick a country eventually, and I'll learn the names. It's great. 2-star reputation. Okay. Actually sitting lower than Holbeck by a considerable margin. Wage budget. There we go. So they do have a wage budget. They'd be paying us less than our last club. The wage budget would be also less than our last club. How is your transfer budget negative? I get in there and there's just a guy waiting there with a bat being like, mate, you owe us £1,000 just for taking the job. Fremad are in. They've gone, we saw what that Swedish club were offering you, but how about our guy with a bat wants £2,000 off you before you even get started? That is very interesting. Now, we couldn't take this job if we wanted to because they've won one Veikkausliiga 10 years ago. They're a professional side in the top flight of Finland. This would be, obviously we can't take it, but it would be very curious. £50,000 transfer budget and a wage budget of 16 grand. You can really see the step up that would be available should we actually be offered a job at a club of this level, other than these guys, obviously. And that's a real sign. The fact that a 3.5-star rep team is interested in us. They seemed up for it in the meeting. That's really good news. If only they knew that SJK were interested in us. But they don't have a guy with a bat. Oh, wow. No, that is very good news. HJK. Get that taste out of my mouth. SJK actually want us. Now, because of the rules of this save, for those who may have joined later in the save, we're not managing clubs that have ever won the top flight of their leagues, and thus they are off the cards. But criminy. Finland top flight is on the table for this next job. Second divisions of, I'd say, Sweden, Denmark, and Norway are very much on the cards. Perhaps even some lower top tier sides in there as well. I think that's where we've really got to be aiming for this next job. And with that in mind, we're also going to walk away from these two. I feel like we can do better. Oh. This is interesting. BK Häcken, local side in Göteborg, big rivals, of course. I think they actually share a stadium, or they certainly did at one point, I think, with EFK Göteborg, whose scarf you'll see behind me on the wall. Don't let that sway my allegiances, though, of course. This is interesting now, because look, national rep, 3-star, professional side, great youth facilities. They're in the Allsvenskan. Well, are they? Oh, they actually are. They're a top flight side in Sweden. And on that same note, there is actually Varbergs as well. Same reputation. Their youth facilities and whatnot are definitely worse. Oh, look at that kit too. That is brilliant, isn't it? It's like you're an 18-year-old going for your first job and they're just like, I can see you've not had an 8-year career already. Why is this? Why weren't you in the mines when you were 10? Transfer budget of £700,000. Financially limited, he says. A wage budget of 703k. That looks like a glitch. Concerningly. So we don't actually know what, there's no way that's their wage budget. So the only way we'll actually find out how much their wage budget is, I assume, is if they actually approach us. We'll approach Varbergs as well. Oh, nice bit of green. It's very Sassuolo. Transfer budget of 112k. All right. £50,000 a week in wage budget. So I don't know what Häcken's would be, but it was definitely a bit glitchy. So that's, I mean, look at the step up that would be. To go from £3,000 a week in wage budget to a club with a 50k wage budget. These guys haven't, like, accidentally won a top flight title anywhere. No, okay. For all we know, though, those two big Swedish sides that have just come after us, they could both not be interested in us after all. It would be very interesting, though, if they were. And I should also stress, remember, the aim of this save is to win the top flight league of each of the 5 Nordic nations that are loaded anyway. So there's no way to avoid the other countries anyway. So just because I took a big job in Sweden here would not limit my ability to take a job in Finland or Denmark or Norway later, because we'd have to anyway. Vålerenga offer job interview. Jesus. Sadly, on account of them actually having won league titles, 5 of which, in fact, 20 years ago was the most recent one, they'd be off the cards. But it's good to know that that's a possibility. Transfer budget of 6 million quid. Jesus Christ. Did Vålerenga, like, just steal the Norwegian oil pipeline? This is a second tier side. A second tier side have a transfer budget of 6 million quid in Norway. Just to clarify, people that play saves in Norway regularly, I did a full save in Norway with Tromsø last year on stream. And I know it was Tromsø. But we didn't get transfer budgets like that until I was in the Champions League. That's weird, right? That they're offering a £6 million transfer budget in the second tier of Norway. That seems strange to me. No, I mean, it's just a new chairperson through the elections, which admittedly was actually yesterday. I think. Makes me wonder if they actually do have £6 million, or whether he's just walked in there and put his wang on the table and been like, 6 million. He has no idea what he's doing. Why have you never been able to achieve promotion with the clubs in your career? Because the clubs I've been managing were expected to get relegated to bias. With respect. Also, the last club was a B team. Literally wasn't possible, mate. 261k. See, that feels like that's the same league as Vålerenga and an £8,000 transfer budget. Wow. I wanted this sort of job in the back pocket just in case all of those other ones bin us off. But the fact that SJK were willing to offer us a job makes me think that there might be one in the middle that's more appropriate for us. Oh, no. Bergstrand takes charge at BK Häcken. Kimber... Hang on, that was the... Damn it. Well, damn. So that's the other... top flight Swedish job gone. But you'll see Mjøndalen on there too. So that's something. Who's the guy they chose instead of me then? Rikard Norling. Yeah, he's quite a lot better than me, isn't he? Wow, they were offering... God, we could have had a lot of money there. So Mjøndalen are in. £600 a week, £8,500 a week wage budget, which is a jump, which is good. Transfer budget, which is also good. Would delay, obviously. Sundsvall are in for us too. Swedish second tier, professional side, national rep, insecure finances, albeit. Except they're actually not, because Mjøndalen have just been relegated to the third tier in Norway, as it goes. Whereas Sundsvall have just lost in the playoff final to get promoted. We were right on the edge of being able to get those other jobs, but we're just not quite good enough yet. So they want to get the playoffs again. How does it... How does a wage budget of none sound to you? Do you know, Simon, I think we might need a bit more. You're a professional team. What do you want me to do? Pay them in gin and Rice Krispie squares? Doesn't really bode well for us, that one. Okay, so we didn't get the job at Vålerenga. Not that we would be able to take it anyway, and I was not expecting to get it, to be honest, because Joachim Kleber was given the job in the end. He was the Fredrikstad manager. So Sundsvall have approached us. They actually do have a wage budget, this time of... that definitely said wage budget, right? Of £20,000, which is, I would say, somewhat of a step up over Mjøndalen. No transfer budget, but it is quite a large wage budget. Now, it depends on how much of that they're actually spending, and it's a good wage for us to potentially be on. Interestingly, Fredrikstad's jobs now become available, presumably on account of Vålerenga stealing their manager. So Mjøndalen won't agree to our delay. Oh... I really want to see what happens with the Fredrikstad job. Okay, this is intriguing. We've just been offered a job interview at Degerford. I don't even remember applying for this. They are predicted... Obviously, they're first on alphabetics right now, so that's irrelevant. But the point is, they are predicted number one. They are 10 to 11 for promotion from the Superettan this year in the Swedish second tier. The same tier that Sundsvall would be playing in. The question is whether their budgets would be similar. I don't know. They're also in secure finances, but that seems to be everyone there. It's... Also, cool badge. I assume that's because that's the men's team. Does the women's team have like the... That's kind of cool. Step up. Okay. Challenge for it. Okay, cool. That's fine. They're actually not expecting like dead on must-win title, etc. 22,000 wage budget, so higher than Sundsvall. Interesting. Degerford's believed to be increasingly impressed with his credentials as the process has developed. I love how in this interview, reports have suggested I'm attending this interview, and I have nothing on here that says, yeah, I'd quite like that job. Literally, even the positive one is, I don't think there's much to the story. What? How is that positive? I couldn't care less about this nonsense, he said positively. It might as well just say at the end, Dumbledore said calmly. And we've heard nothing from Fredrikstad, and not even about a job interview, but the Degerfors one is the interesting one. Okay, it's a risk to turn this down, but I feel like we're in a position now where I kind of know where we sit job-wise. So if we did turn this down, I feel like other jobs would come up in that sort of bracket. I think we're going to take a risk here and walk away. Now we're just waiting to hear from either Fredrikstad about an interview or Degerfors about start of... Oh, yes. I mean, obviously we can't take the start job because they've won 2 league titles, albeit not since the 80s, but it is what it is. But the fact they were interested in the first place is nuts. But more importantly, Degerfors are in for us. That is much more... It's basically just the Sundsvall job, just with a slightly higher wage budget and a little bit more, potentially slightly better squad, given that we're season favourites at the moment, and it might give us a bit more of a platform to build. Now, the financial damages are concerned. Also, less promises were asked of the board. I hear they didn't care so much about dressing room stuff. The only one they made me make was the promises to players, which I think puts us in a better position in terms of flexibility. I'm still going to do the delays to see if just anything magical comes up here, but I think this might be the one. Oh, you bastards. You utter bastards. Fredericks, at least they've given me time, because I haven't even had a second delay yet of the other one. Where are they likely to be? 6th, obviously, but that's alphabetics. Media prediction 6th as well. Oh, no, that's where they come. Wait, what? Oh, wait a minute, friends. Wait a damn minute. They won the playoff. They're in the top flight. Fredrikstad are a top flight side. Hang on, where's their manager then? Oh, he went to Vålerenga, didn't he? This is very interesting now. Good rep, good value. Finances aren't trash. They've won 9 league titles. Damn it! Damn it! I didn't check, and they've won 9 league titles. Couldn't you have been worse? It's what gets you. It's what gets you. Fight bravely against relegation. So they actually, not that it matters now. Sorry, what? 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 Is that this season? Just to clarify, they've been promoted through the playoffs. They are promoted to the top flight, and I can exceed expectations by getting automatic promotion. To where exactly? Congratulations, you've been promoted to Sweden. I assume that's for this season, even though this season's finished. Screw it. £116,000 transfer budget. We'll obviously delay one more week just to see what happens with Fredrikstad. I just want to see if they approach us, just so I can see what on earth they're doing. And also, I think I'd honestly rather be in a position to manage a good God, 50k a week. Norway's loaded, innit? Or it certainly feels like certain teams in Norway are loaded. I guess they're in the top flight now. £3,500 a week is a huge wage for the manager. Like an absurd wage for a manager at that level, I think. But obviously we can't take the job because they've already won the top flight 9 times in their history, which is mad. I didn't realize they were so successful back in the sort of 50s and 60s. That's impressive. Fair play. The fact that they were actually willing to offer this is a really good sign for future jobs. Well, here we go. Degerfors. Now, obviously, as always, Swedes, I know I'm going to need a lot of help with names and whatnot, obviously, and I believe it's a soft G. There's a lot of soft Gs, I think, in Swedish. So I think it's Degerfors, but I'll need to pronounce it. I'll do my best. You know how it goes with these things. The club's financial damage does concern me a little bit. Hopefully, it's not too bad. That's good. It's good money for Kalle. It allows him to build up a bit of a nest egg that he can start working on trying to find Henrik and that journalist. Even though it is Sweden again, this just feels like the best option for us at this point. I think we'll just finalize it. Right. We are in, my friends. Boom. Degerfors hire Kalle Forsberg. So, no way. Hang on, is that Blair Turgott? It is Blair Turgott. Wow. Okay, they actually play a back three. Again, I should stress, this is not, you are literally, if you go on their pages and look at the tactical screen for the clubs before your manager and when they don't have a manager, it doesn't show their formation. It will just usually show a 4-4-2 or occasionally a 4-3-3 DM. That's it. And that's what this one showed. So the fact that they actually, unless that's just because of our tactics, maybe I'm just getting confused and this is just displaying it based on our best 11, or the way we play, but I don't think that's how it usually works. Never used to anyway. But if that's the case, that is awesome. The fact that they might well be a team that's set up to play our style of football from the very off. And I might be wrong about this, and it might just be that it displays their team based on your favored tactic. Exciting times. We'll do a little bit of a run through today, but obviously do a bit more of it on the next one. Scheduled press conference, yes. Backroom staff every fortnight. Cool. We are in. Kalle Forsberg, manager of Degerfors. What a step up from the Icelandic second tier to the Swedish second tier, managing the favourites for promotion. This is a big job for Kalle. Would that give us any more? Not really. Not worth it, I would say at that point. Finances. Moment of truth. Oh my God. Oh no. We're £3.2 million in debt. And I don't know if you've just noticed over here, the wage budget is £40 more basically than they're already spending. So we don't have any wage budget. Please tell me there's some clauses. Okay, this could literally be the savior of us. I don't think it's going to be much, but it could well save us here. How much is this looking at here? £32,000. 107. This is literally just so we can free up a bit of wage budget. Hopefully that actually worked. It did. Does that at least... Ooh, I can maybe squeak out like a signing with that? Maybe. Oh, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. I bet they've already made transfers too. Right then. Squad. Best player. Oh, wow. Hello. Marius Ingebretsen. Central midfielder, attacking midfielder. Ooh, he's got terrible finishing, but he's a lovely passer of the ball. He's very engaged, but also he could play the advanced playmaker role very nicely. Look at his mentals. He's very good. It also feel like the exact type of players that we'll end up losing at the end of this season if our financial situation continues. Eric Lindell, right wing back. Oh, boy, is he as well. Holy God. Yes, please. Doesn't like big matches, which is annoying, but he is consistent. A leading player for this division. He's very good. I'm a big fan of that. He might be good for the ball in midfield role. Right-footed, great tackling, marking, positioning solid, reasonable physicals, not the tallest, but still good mentals on him as well. His jumping reach is 12. I think that would get found out, but great. Likes big matches, consistency. I would definitely, I think, be comfortable playing him in the central midfield. I don't think I'd be comfortable playing him other than possibly in the box-to-box, but the finishing lets him down a bit. But there's always the option to maybe sell him and then bring in someone else, but I'd rather not, particularly as he likes big matches, and again, consistency. There's Bengtsson, who's basically the left-sided version, and again, he's good and can actually play there. Yeah, doesn't like big matches, but again, consistent. Blair Turgott, striker. Oh, 12 finishing, 11 composure. He's not the quickest, but he is relatively tall. Magnus Wirtz, here we go. 6'1", good jumping reach. Solid. Big matches, consistency. Wow, they've got some great personalities in this squad. Like, the pros and cons are very, very good. Jeffrey Gull, goalkeeper, extraordinaire, solid. American as well. Point is, there is a squad here. And that's something, right? Now, we've got ages, presumably, until the league actually starts. Yeah, April. Obviously got the Svenska Cupen in there too. So that's something, I guess. Although that's a pretty tough group with Östersunds, Mjällby, and EFK Göteborg in there too. So, I don't know. That's going to be tough. Got some friendlies in there to sort this out. The point is, we have plenty of time to bed in a tactic. Maybe still do a bit of wheeling and dealing in the transfer market to try and bring in a couple of free transfers, perhaps. Loans as well is definitely going to be important for us, given our wage situation. We could always move... If we got any players that don't fit our style and are worth money and got big wages, then potentially moving them on as well to try to really mold this into what we want for this season. But I think it's going to be a very tough year for us, but I still think we're one of the better sides, and that might give us that little advantage that we need. At Degerfors Idrottsförening in the Swedish second division. If you do know anything about the club, of course, let me know in the comments. I'll be very interested to hear about it. Lots of local rivals in there too. Hopefully we can have a cracking season and get ourselves to the top flight of Sweden with these guys this year, because I suspect that we might not keep our job if we don't. This is as simple as that. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this, and I hope you have, drop a like. That'd be spectacular. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. That'd be gorgeous too. I stream on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, so follow there as well. And hey, like I said earlier, follow me on TikTok. Can't believe I'm saying that. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.